Hey Internet, Fuffy here. So a new TF2 update has been released with a lot of interesting changes. I'm going to go over all of them and then say my opinions and how I think it's going to affect the community. First things first, and the most interesting thing in my opinion is the competitive revamp. This has done a lot of things, but the biggest thing that happened was that they've moved to a different rating system. The Glyco, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but it's the same rating system, or it's based off of the one used in CSGO. They've changed the 18 ranks to 13 ranks, and now you have to win 10 competitive matches to get your rank. I really like these changes, but I am wondering if enough people will be enticed back into the competitive mode that so many had just given up on. Of course, this new ranking system doesn't only affect competitive. Now, casual matches will be partially balanced out using the ranking system in order to help people have a more fun experience. This is one of the changes that I wasn't really expecting, but I'm really glad it's in there, because I think it will just overall improve the gameplay experience and keep teams from just getting steamrolled over and over like we would normally see in pub matches. They also just made some quality of life improvements to casual. Things like being able to queue for multiple casual game types, or multiple things at a time. They've also added in different map pools, they've sorted the maps alphabetically, and after the match, you only vote on maps that are the exact same game type as the one you were playing on. So if you really like Capture the Flag and 2 Fort, you're probably going to stay on 2 Fort. But if you were playing on a payload map, you're not going to get 2 Fort if you're really not into that kind of thing, which I know I'm not, so I think that's just awesome. Overall, I think these matchmaking changes really do nothing but benefit the community as a whole. This might even be the push needed to get more people into competitive matchmaking. I am of the belief that these should have been there from the start as soon as all this casual stuff was implemented, but I'm glad that they are here now, and I am sure going to be playing more Team Fortress 2 with these improvements to the quality of the game and of how you get into matches. They've also added some gameplay changes as a nice bonus. These include many different weapon balances, and let's go through them all, starting with the flamethrowers. Now flamethrower damage ramps up, so you need to keep your mouse fully targeted on the person that you're burning, to stop people from just sort of flinging fire everywhere. They've also made the projectiles on the Dragon's Fury just a little bit smaller, to really encourage people to again get their aim down. And the bonus damage against burning targets now requires the center of the fireball to hit the target. The Gas Passer was a weapon that I thought was really underpowered, but the only change that they seem to have done to it is change the Explode on Ignite upgrade in the Man vs. Machine just to fix a bug that was in that game mode. This one I really like. The Extinguisher's slow deploy time has been taken away, but now it only does mini crits and then extinguishes the burning targets. The base damage and holster speed have also been reduced, and it will no longer deal random crits. Of course, as an upside, killing blows on burning players will grant you a slight speed boost. One weapon that I use a lot is the thermal thruster, and I'm really glad that they're changing the holster time to 0.8 seconds from 1.1 seconds, just to help people switch out of that weapon so they're not completely vulnerable as they land. The TF2 team believed that the Sydney Sleeper was just a little bit too strong, and so now, fully charged body shots and headshots don't splash Girardi on players around the target. They reduce the length of the Girardi from a maximum of 8 seconds down to 5 seconds, and they've added Nature's Call, which is where scoped headshots will always mini-crit, and reduce the remaining cooldown of Girardi by 1 second. The Short Circuit has gotten a really interesting and crazy change, where the Alt Fire now launches a medium-range projectile, which is an energy ball that destroys different projectiles in the area and requires 65 metal. I really like the way that they changed the Pretty Boy's pocket pistol in previous updates, but they've realized now that it's just a little bit too strong, and so they've reduced the heal per hit amount to 3 when it was 7. The Panic Attack has gotten a little bit of a buff, where they reduce the worst case shot spread pattern by 40%, and they also reduce the damage penalty to 20% when it was 30%. Finally, a small change to the atomizer. They've made it so that now the weapon needs to be fully deployed before you can do a triple jump. A lot of these weapon changes seem to be directed towards the Pyro because that's a class that a lot of people have complained about, and so it really just makes sense. I really like the new design of the thermal thruster, and the extinguisher is a weapon that I might even consider using now. Along with that, they've made pyro seem a little bit more skill-based, which may calm the salty pyro haters. They also fixed a bunch of other little things in the game, but if you want the specifics, you can go read the post itself. They also added in a new Blue Moon cosmetic case and a key for it, with 19 new cosmetic items, because they gotta make money somehow. Overall, I think this is a great update, and really a step in the right direction. Everything that Valve has done has just been slow steps in the right direction, and if updates like this keep coming out consistently, I think we can really see a growth, and getting out of the slums that we were in after all the crazy debacle of Meet Your Match, and the other updates that just didn't live up to our expectations. Now, do I think this update is a big deal? It's a really big thing? No. I personally think, just like the previous update that everyone was touting as something huge, that this is just something that really needed to happen, and without it, I would have just been even more disappointed in the TF team. But now I can successfully and happily say that they're doing all right. Of course, my personal favorite change is having even more badges to click on.